create a,
Deficit.
say it loud,
Deficit.
a deficit. Now, if I was at 3,100 calories and I want to create a deficit, I want to do about, for me, I was doing a 300 to 500 calorie deficit a day. What that means is instead of the maintenance of 3,100, I was doing between 2,600 and 2,800 calories a day in order to lose weight. Does that make sense? Yes.
Wait, so if you do that, it will just like put you in the range of those two numbers pretty much?
That, if you maintain this number, that will take you down to there, and then that will become your maintenance.
Like in between 265 to 280?
Exactly. Very good, very good. So, as I'm losing weight and I want to lose more weight, what do I need to continue to do to this number right here? My deficit. I need to keep dropping it if I want to lose weight, right? Because once I get to 260 pounds, if I'm eating 2,800, I'm putting on weight, right? So I had to drop it. Eventually, I dropped it to 2,100 calories a day in order to get myself down to my lowest, which was 245. Okay. Now that I'm happy where I'm at currently, so I'm eating about 2,500 calories a day because I'm back in my maintenance phase. Okay. So, a couple interesting facts. You can put this on your sheet. 1 pound equals 3,500 calories. Okay, so let's say 1 pound equals 3,500 calories. So let's say that I'm at 310 calories, or I'm sorry, 3,100 calories to maintain, and every day that week, so 7 days, I did 2,600 calories. How much weight am I going to lose off of my diet alone per week? I bet Ava, you can probably figure that out, right? What's my deficit between 3,100 and 2,600? So it's real easy, right? If I take this 3,100 and I subtract 2,600, what do I have left over?
500.
500. Now, we do that every day that week. So we multiply that number by
7.
500 times 7 is
3,500.
3,500. And what does 1 pound, how many calories is 1 pound?
2,500.
So 3,500. So if I did this, I could lose a pound a week. Okay? Now, is this the only way I'm burning calories is by dieting? No. What else do you think I was doing that entire time?
Working out.
Good, yeah.
Working out.
How many times a day was I working out? Yes.
7.
Okay. That's a lot per day.
Oh, per day?
I was going
Oh,
2 times
3.
per day.
Oh.
Every day, but I was burning on average, my nice little watch, our technology is great, right? It tells me how many calories I burn per day. On average, I was burning another 1,800 calories working out per day. So, if I take that 1,800 average per day, now I need my math geniuses.
Got it.
18, and feel free to use your phone. This isn't a math class. I won't ding you for using the calculator thing on your phone. So what is 1,800 times 7?
12,600.
All right, so now we're getting somewhere, right? So 12,600. Then I also lost how many calories by my diet?
3,000.
3,500. So, Ava, do you know what that equals total? 3,500 plus 12,600 is 16,100. Who's got their calculator out still?
Not me.
Take the number 16,100 and divide it by what?
2,000.
Yes, say it loud.
3,500.
So take 16,100 and divide it. Why are we doing this? What's 3,500?
1 pound.
1 pound. How many pounds was I losing a week at this rate?
4.6 pounds.
4.6 pounds a week. That means that I could lose almost 20 pounds in a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a significant weight loss. Now, you guys are kids. There's no reason that we're gonna try to lose 20 pounds in a month, okay? At the most, some of you guys may wanna lose 3 pounds here, 5 pounds there, whatever, but mostly we wanna make sure that we're not overeating, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, did you have a question? I'm sorry.
No.
Okay. So, how do we know if we're overeating? How can we tell how many calories are in something? Well, if everyone will look under their seat, I gave everyone a food item. And what we're going to do is look at those individual food items and see how many calories they are so that we can actually know how many calories our bodies are taking in. So, Ava, see that box of macaroni and cheese that you have right there?
Yeah.
My kids on a regular basis, a couple of my older sons, will make and eat an entire box of macaroni and cheese. No problem. One sitting, sometimes just for a snack. So, how many calories does that say is in there?
Says 260.
Now here's the trick. How many servings are in that box?
2.5 servings.
Oh, so it's not 260 calories. It's 260 calories times 2.5. So, who's my calculator guy?
Apparently Hendo.
So,
Get to my calculator. Okay.
you can tell it's been a long summer when you can't find your calculator.
It's
app on your phone.
650.
Okay. Okay, what was it? 2, 6.
The answer
He's
6.
right.
Yeah.
So one box of macaroni and cheese is 650 calories. Theo,
Mm-hmm.
how many calories are you allowed per day for maintenance?
1,400.
So if you eat almost half of your calories for a snack, are you going to maintain your body weight?
No.
Now, I'm going to say this, for a group this age, you can add, because you are growing, no one expects you to stay this size for the rest of your life. You can be 200 calories, 300 calories above. The most important thing is that you see what you feel like. You see what you look like. You know, we all know when we eat too much.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? We all know when we're getting too unhealthy. And that's the main thing we're concerned about, right? We're concerned about health. We're concerned about our heart. Can I run around the track one time? Or do I run around the track half the time and then sit on the lawn and cry? We need to be able to be physically fit. It's important. And our parents need to learn this too, right? I'm not going to make anybody raise their hands, but how many people in here have had a parent who has been overweight at some point? Please put your hand down, son. So, 260 calories it says, but when we look closer, because we learn how to read a food label, it says the number of servings right there is 2.5. And that's before we add in the milk.
The sugar and everything else.
So, let's go. John, what do you got there?
What's water? So 0?
It's a bottle of water, right?
Yeah.
And it's 0 calories. So what does that mean with water?
Just the
You're
weight.
getting no
the
calories.
weight of.
You can drink as much water as you want without putting on weight. Because all that water does is go in and supply hydration to your body, and then it leaves your body via urination. Theodore,
Can't you drown yourself from having too much water?
you can, but you'll feel like you have to drink and not allow yourself to go to the bathroom when you have to. So the only way that you can really hurt yourself with water is if you don't pee when you have to. Okay?
Okay.
So, Scott, what do you got in your hand there?
Can of tomato
A
soup.
can of tomato soup, 1 can, so that's what, you know, a normal person would make. What do you have calorie-wise in that can of soup?
90 calories per half cup.
90 calories per half cup, and how many servings does it say are in that can? If you look right here on the food label, everybody see this food label right here? They're all the same. The government makes them the same. It'll say serving size, half a cup, okay? Servings, about 2.5. So you grab this and you see this little thing right here and it says 90 calories. You're like, perfect, that's a really healthy choice. But if you don't do a little bit of research, you don't realize that that's 225, 235 calories in reality. So you have to learn how to read those food labels, okay? So 235 calories. Now this is a pretty good choice. 235 calories, if you wanted to have that
That's
and an apple for lunch or something, yes sir.
That's 225.
Okay, well, roughly 225, 235. Sometimes there's a little left in the bottom of the can when you pour it out. You know, we're just getting as close as possible, okay? So, this, you add an apple, some fruit, maybe a couple of vegetables in, that's a healthy lunch, right? We're gonna break down some fats and proteins in just a second, so don't put your food items down. Beatrice, how many calories are in that protein bar that you got?
190 calories.
190 calories, is that a good choice? Yeah, how many of those bars could you eat a day? To get what's your maintenance weight? So remember we did the formula earlier, so flip it over your sheet.
880.
And I told you could add 200 more. So let's say it's 1,080 that you could have. How many of those bars, roughly, could you have a day? If you wanted to just live off of protein bars. So you were just like your dad or your brothers. You could eat 5.5 of those bars a day, and that would be all the food you're allowed to eat. So that's a great snack to have, like in between lunch and dinner if you're hungry, but I wouldn't eat just protein bars all day, right? You already got the water. Theodore,
Yeah.
what do you got there?
Rice.
What's it called?
Rice pilaf.
Rice-a-roni, pilaf. Okay. Now, normally, do you sit down for dinner and your parents give you a bowl of rice and say, here's your dinner?
No.
No. You get rice along with chicken and broccoli. Now, when your mom makes you dinner, like for instance, my family, we have 6 people and I'm making dinner for our family. I don't grab 6 boxes of rice-a-roni, right? I might do 2 because I have some big boys and I still like to eat, and I've got a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old now who eats a lot more food than you would think. So let's say we did 2 of those boxes, okay? So, how many calories are in a box?
Well, there's 2 different things. There's as packaged and as prepared, and there's like a ton of.
Okay, well we would do it as prepared.
So 250.
And how many servings?
3.
Which is what?
Wait.
250 times 3
Oh, 750.
is 750 calories.
1,500 with 2 boxes.
Right. So, if each person in my 6-person family got an equal amount of food, they would get 250 calories, plus a couple pieces of chicken, plus a little bit of vegetables. That's a healthy dinner. But you can see how eating a third of the box is much healthier for you than eating an entire box of rice-a-roni. But that is what we see. We see, you know, especially prepackaged foods, they're easier. My kids, myself, sometimes we're hungry. So we grab a protein bar and a granola bar, and then we pour a bowl of Cheez-Its. And before you know it, we've had 1,000 calories, and it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we still haven't eaten dinner. So we have to know what's going into our body. Now, fats, carbohydrates, and proteins are also known as macronutrients. So write that down. Fats, carbohydrates and protein. You can use the back of your sheet if you need to.